Hello students, now we will be looking into synchronization mechanisms. Yes, so far many things we observed, like how the problem will arise in high PC inter-process communication and how they occur, that we observed, and what are the requirement to defining or constructing any mechanisms, that also we observed clearly. Now we will be looking into synchronization mechanisms. I also given architecture for mechanisms. These synchronization mechanisms are classified into in two variations. One is mutual. We have to ensure what? So we have to ensure a mutual exclusion, primary thing, right? So mutual exclusion with busy wait mechanisms. Busy wait mechanisms. Busy wait mechanisms. And second classification of algorithms are mutual exclusion without busy wait. Without busy wait means you can understand, without busy wait means blocking mechanisms. There are two classification of algorithms here, just some of them with busy waiting, some are without busy waiting, and these two all algorithms can be, some of them can be like, some of the with busy wait mechanisms can be implemented in software as well as hardware. Software, hardware, you understand, hardware in this case kernel, it is kernel. For kernel part we can implement, this is like user applications. Software means user application. Please, like both algorithm can be used for software, means not all, some of the both of them, like some of the algorithms from busy wait and blocking mechanism can be used in software, and some of them or can be used for hardware as well, that you can understand. So let us will go approaches, different approaches will be observing. Copy this. For various proposal came for implementing these mechanisms. One of them is like what we observed with examples, like many examples we observed. The major point you might be noticed also, preemption is a major point to creating this inconsistencies, or no? Like when I take the example producer consumer problem, or even printer's polar device Demon case, if preemption would not occur, the everything went good, correct or not? Preemption is a major cause. So preemption, how to avoid? So one of the simple mechanisms proposed. So that is disable interrupts. That is disable interrupts. Disable interrupts. This is one of the simple approach to implementing, that is satisfying the mutual exclusion, that is disable interrupts. See, if the interrupts are disabled, so definitely the preemption will not cause, correct or not? What this mechanism says here, so write down the point. So disable all interrupt just after entering critical section. Write down the point, disable all interrupts just after entering into critical section, and re-enable them. So just before leaving from the critical section. So now preemption causes are, you can understand, if preemption will not occur, so causes if you see, or the first one you can observe, timers, yes or no? Timers, majorly timers or not? See, in time sharing system, if I observe, every process will run with a time interval, means when a process is scheduled, so time clock also get activated for each process. When time clock going to be like count becomes 0, so ultimately it is causing interrupts, yes or no? The timers are major interrupts, yes or no? Timers. And second one, IO devices, yes or no? Like suppose any process running, if IO device requesting to operating system do something, some action, so even power failure also, I should stop power failure. So these are the causes for preemption. If I mask all interrupts, so when a process started execution, then it won't cause any preemption. That means you understand. So what interrupt will do? Simply CPU will switch from one process to another process. Correct or not? I have to stop. Process should not leave from one process to other one. So just when running process moving for critical section, you disable all interrupt, so that process will not go to anywhere. Simply all shared data going to be updated. Once updation is over, then disable all, like re-enable all interrupts, so that it will works. So now that you would understand, this is a mechanism you have observed architecture. Entry section is there, right? Entry section. Now here critical section is there. This is a critical section, correct? Now exit section. This is exit. Now, so many processes may be racing to access this critical section, P1, P2, P3. Like in entry section, only you have to allow one process to use a critical section, that you have to ensure the mutual exclusion. Here, after just before entering, after entering critical section, so disable all interrupts here. Disable all interrupts. Disable all interrupts. After leaving from the critical section, re-enable them. Re-enable the interrupts. So definitely, what we expected from any algorithm, those algorithms which we are designing for IPC, so that must be satisfy the mutual exclusion as well as progression, right? So you can understand, see, if one of the processes is entered to use the critical section, just after entering critical section, disabling all interrupt. Once it disable nothing but during execution, it won't occur any preemption. When preemption is not caused, other process will not enter into critical section. Definitely, this will satisfy. It will guarantee, right on note point. It will guarantee first one mutual exclusion and second one progression. Both conditions will satisfy. Both the conditions are satisfying. How progression is satisfied here? What I told you, progression nothing but when critical section is free, the process which are running outside the critical section should not stop other process who are interested to enter the critical section. See, in this case, if critical section is free, anyone can come. No one is stopping here. No protocol to stop. You are interested to enter the critical section. But who are trying, only one has to try. Then once you enter the critical section, you have to stop all interrupts. So now means disable all interrupts. So other will not enter. So definitely it is satisfying mutual exclusion as well as progression condition. But this mechanism or this approach, it is unwise to implement, like unattracted to implementing this. Why? See, giving the power, giving the user process the power to disable these interrupts is not at all good idea. Why? Because so once a process is disable the interrupts, suppose it is not re-enable them. Suppose once we given a permission to the user process to disable all interrupts, then you can use the critical section, right? If that particular process is disabled but it is not turn on again, you turn them on again, so what happens? That is end of the system or not? Yes or no? Because that can cheat to operating system. If it is not re-enabled, definitely that end of the story you can see. That is the reason why this algorithm is not at all suitable for implementing the user applications, but it can be used in kernel part. See, anyway OS process will run in a kernel part of the OS, correct? When the kernel code is running, so it should not occur any interrupts, because that should run atomicity. I told you privileged instructions or kernel instructions should run without preemption. Such cases I can use the disable interrupt. You have to disable all interrupt so that will run comfortably. It is not at all suitable for user process, but it can be implementable. Right on note point. This is not suitable for user applications, but it can be suitable to implement in kernel part of the OS. That you would understand clearly. And note down immediately. We'll see another algorithm. But this is satisfying our requirement, but so it cannot be implementable. Reason I told you. So giving power to disable all interrupts for user process is not at all good idea. So next algorithm is lock variable. Put the heading. Next approach, another approach is the lock variable. It is little interesting. We'll need to analyze also whether that is satisfying our requirement or not. Second one, lock variable. Lock variable. Put the heading. Second approach is lock variable. So there are many questions which I observed from GATE from this topic. It is software solution at user mode applications we can be used, and it is second point, it is multi-processes solution. So process greater than 2 it can work. Here it uses a shared single variable called lock. Lock is a single shareable variable. What this lock is containing? Lock is a shared variable. You understand, it uses a shared single variable. You understand, single binary, you can write out the binary variable. What this binary variable containing? Either it contains either 0 or 1. Yes or no? What the lock 0 indicates? That nothing but critical section is free. What lock 1 indicates? Critical section is in use. How this mechanism will work, we will understand clearly. So under this algorithm, we are trying to ensure mutual exclusion, right? That is our motto. Any process want to enter into its critical section. So it first tests the lock value. Lock initialized to 0. You have to test the lock value. It is initialized to 0. The lock equal to 0, that means critical section is free. The process can enter into its critical section. If lock value is 1, nothing but somebody using the critical section. If the lock value is 1, then process just has to wait until that becomes 0. You have to wait until that becomes 0. Are you getting my point? So lock equal to 0, nothing but critical section is free. Lock equal to 1, nothing but somebody using the critical section. That you have to notice here. So again, repeating the problem statement, very simple. Any process want to enter into its critical section, first you test the lock value. If the lock value is 0, then you can enter critical section by making lock equal to 1. You can enter the critical section by making lock equal to 1. If the lock value is 1, that nothing but somebody using, you have to wait. Process just has to wait until that becomes 0. So this is a simple concept. We will understand how this will work. You copy these points. So already architecture I have given. So entry section, lock value we are going to be initialized here. What is initial lock value? 0 only. Look. So architecture you can observe here. This is what entry section, right? Entry section. So now process P1, process P2, like process P3 if I take, they are trying to use the critical section. Now critical section is here. Yes or no? Exit section. Now here in entry section, initially lock value how much? Initialized to 0 here. Now you have to test this condition, right? You have to test the condition. Look this, void for process, any process, void entry section, any process comes like int process, any process comes simply int process. What is the initial value of lock? So I may use int lock equal to 0. Initially lock equal to 0, right? And simply you have to test, yes or no? First you have to test the lock value, yes or no? Just let me see. Very simple. Like, so you have to test the condition while when you have to enter into critical section. Tell me all of you. I told you any process comes, you have to read the lock value. If lock value is 0, you have to enter, right? If the lock is not equal to 0, you have to keep on wait. You have to wait until that becomes 0. Yes or no? So if lock, you have to test the condition. If lock not equal to 0, so I am taking the opposite condition. So now colon. What does means? Please try to understand. You are very good at in programming language. Tell me. While lock not equal to 0, semicolon means what? While lock not equal to 0, nothing but if the lock value is 1, if the lock value 1 not equal to 0, condition is true. When condition is true, if I keep semicolon, so this keep on checking only, like this is keep on checking only. This is what meaning of busy wait. It is a busy wait. Busy wait also known to be what? Spin lock. I told you very clearly. Means when lock equal to 1, the particular process keep on executing this instruction only. Keep on executing. When this condition is true, again check the condition. Condition is true, check the condition. Like keep on executing. This is, I told you, busy wait. The busy wait mechanism have a limitation. It is wasting the CPU time or not. Because every time you keep on executing the same instruction, that becomes false. Correct or not? So that is also known to be spin lock. Spin lock eventually so waste the CPU time. That you have to understand. If lock not equal to 0, if condition is fail, then what you have to make it simply make the lock equal to 1. You have to make the lock equal to 1, then enter into critical section. Yes or no? So now enter into critical section. This is the critical section. Similarly, I will write for a code for void exit section. Exit section. Into process. This is multi-process solution, right? So into process. Now simply exit time, what should I do? You lock equal to 0, right? You read the lock equal to 0, make lock equal to 1 just before entering critical section and enter into critical section. Use the critical section. Now make the lock equal to 0. Make the lock equal to 0 so that other process can come. Very simple. Now you have to make just lock equal to 0. So this is the exit section for this. I told you very simple. You first while lock value is initialized to 0, you check the lock value. If the lock equal to 0, you make the lock equal to 1, enter the critical section. Use the critical section once usage is over, means you just use share data, update your share data. Once updation is over, make lock equal to 0, you come out. That nothing but other process can come. So this is the high level code I mentioned. Entry section, any process comes, you test the lock value. If it is 0, then make the lock equal to 1 come. And my question to all of you, tell me now whether this code is guarantee the mutual exclusion or not. I am giving time to you. You can think and you can notice yourself, because you cannot respond to me. You just notice yourself whether this code is satisfying the mutual exclusion or not. Forget of progression. You just think and tell me means you can understand yourself whether this is satisfying the mutual exclusion or not. Yes. So little more I will write. You just copy this. Copy this left side part. What I will do? I will write the high level code for this equivalent here. So high level code I will write. What is the entry section? I am testing the condition, right? You are reading the lock value, comparing to 0. If it is 0, you make the lock equal to 1, enter the critical section, right? So entry section I will write. Entry section. Instruction 1. First, load. I will write assembled code. Load initial value lock value, m lock equal to memory location lock value into, let's take register RI, any register RI. Second two, and compare this register RI to 0, compare to 0. And third statement, and if it is non-zero, jump non-zero case, jump non-zero. If it is non-zero, jump non-zero to step 1. I am writing step 1. If it is 0, what should I make it? If the lock equal to 0, condition is false, means lock, we have to make the lock equal to 1. So store store memory location lock equal to what? 1. This is entry over exit section. Now, so this after this use a critical section. What the exit section is here? Exit section. Yes, exit section makes just 6th instruction, 5th instruction if you see, and store lock equal to store memory location lock equal to what? 0 only. Yes or no? 0. This is the steps I given in assembled code. Just note down. We need to trace out. Yes, meanwhile you might be thinking also whether this satisfying the mutual exclusion or not. We will trace out, but definitely by looking, see, very simple concept you understand. First you read the lock value 0. Yes, now lock value 0. Suppose any process comes, you are reading the lock equal to 0, enter, lock equal to 0, 0 is not equal to 0, condition false, make the lock equal to 1, enter into critical section. When this process is running in a CPU, if preemption is occurred for the current process and another process testing, and what is lock value? 1, correct? So now it process will come, now lock value what? 1 not equal to 0, condition is true, it will keep on checking correct or not. It is satisfying mutual exclusion. I am asking on you whether satisfying or not. Chalo, we'll trace out by taking the processes. By taking process, we'll trace out ma. Yes, so I'll use this code only. Entry section, entry, what is the lock? Here lock is there, correct? Initially lock equal to how much? 0. How many process I will take? I will take 3 process. Process 1, process 2, process 3. Now it is critical section. Now here exit section. Now I need to make lock equal to what? 0 here. So chalo, we'll tracing part we'll observe. All of you carefully listen. Tracing. So at time 0, I will take process P1 I want to schedule. Process P1 I want to schedule at time 0. Process P1. What process P1 has to run this entry section code, correct or not? What is first line? Read the initial value of lock and store into register R1. That you have to compare to what? This is like while condition I given in high level code or not. Read the lock value, compare to 0. The condition true or false, we will check. Instruction 1. So look this instruction 1. Read the lock value. Initially lock value how much? Initially lock equal to 0 or not? 0. Now place into register R1. Take it 0 R1 register. Second instruction. What is second instruction? Compare R1 to 0. Yes, what is R1 value? 0. Comparing, success. So jump non-zero case step 3, right? Step instruction 3. Jump non-zero case would jump. It is 0. It is not jumping. And suppose third instruction is not going to be it is not jumping. It will run. It is not jumping. It won't jump. And you have to run our fourth instruction, right? What is fourth instruction? Store. Lock equal to 1 you store. Please do understand. Anyway, I want to implement this this mechanism into user applications, correct or not? It is user code now. Tell me, when user code running, preemption can occur. Yes, I was telling you also, we have to establish such a synchronization mechanism. Preemption causes any time and race condition presence and shared resource are there. Then also that algorithm must ensure the mutual exclusion. That must ensure the progression, right? That we expected or not. If occur everything, then also that has to satisfy. It should not leading to inconsistent state, correct? So now preemption caused. Here I am writing line. Preemption occur due to maybe OS might thinking the amount of time given to process P1 is got long enough. So apply the preemption at time T5. Assume that at time T5 another process P2 got chance of execution. P2 got schedule. You can schedule P3 also, but I am scheduling P2. Either P1, P2, P3 or any order. But first P1 got, then P2. Assume that. What P2 will do? Same instruction 1 will execute. What instruction 1? Same. I given a high level code, right? Process has to come inside, and read the lock value, compare it to 0, whether it is 0 or not, you test it. Instruction 1, and you have to load lock equal to register Ri. What is the lock value currently? 0 only. If value is not modified. Now that I am placing the R2 register for this 0 only. What is second instruction? Compare R2 to 0. Yes, I am comparing R2 to 0. That is 0 only. So third instruction will not jump to first step number 1. What third instruction? Jump non-zero case. It is 0 case. It will run fourth statement. Assume that fourth. What is fourth instruction? Store the memory location lock equal to 1. Make the lock equal to 1. See, now lock value becomes what? 1. So I will make it lock. It was 0, now made to 1. It also become 1. Yes or no? Now it has entered into where? Critical section. It has entered into critical section. So I hope it is visible. It is entered into critical section. Now process P2 in critical section. In critical section also many instructions are there, line by line executing. During execution of those instructions, process may be preempted. Yes or no? It is, you should not think like a process will not preempt while running critical section. Yes, critical section also user code only. I told you very critical section nothing but portion of program code only, correct or not? When that portion of the program code running, preemption can cause. Means you understand, we may running in time sharing system, the amount of time given for process P2 might be expired. So by holding, now see, process P2 by holding the critical section got preempted. Yes or no? Got preempted. After some time, operating system might be choosing at 8, might be choosing P1 again, not P3, P1 got chance, assume that. P1 got chance. Now P1 should run from next instruction onwards only, because it already 3 instructions are executed. You have to start from 4th only, because we have saved process state, we have saved in a where we have said PCB, correct or not? It will run 4th instruction directly, that we know, correct. Now what is the 4th instruction says? Store the lock equal to 1. See, now P1 also making lock equal to 1 or not? What is the current value, lock value? Currently lock value how much? 1 only. Now we made it 1 only again, because see, process P1 not knowing, when it got preempted, it not knowing that somebody came and made the lock value equal to 1, correct or not? Simply is thinking that yes, initially I read the lock value 0, so I have to make lock equal to 1, I have to enter the critical section. Yes or no? He is feeling happy or not? Because initially P1 read the lock value 0 only. Yes, 0 means what? Critical section is free, so that I can make the lock equal to 1. I am just entering into critical section. Happily made the lock equal to 1, and it is entering into where? Critical section. Yes or no? See, now look this, understand. Process P2 was in critical section, held up and went outside, like left the CPU, correct or not? Because due to preemption. Now process P1 we allow into that part of the code execution only. Now you can imagine that this leading to dash. Same problem like under producer consumer case. Producer consumer went for updating the count value. What happens? Data we got differently. And I given printer spooler daemon cases, like 2 processes we allowed to update their names in a spooler directory. The process A, B and both are went to update the file names in the spooler directory. What happened? One of them not updated, overwritten or not? Same things happened. Both are entered into critical section, nothing but definitely the share of data going to be more inconsistent or not? Yes. So means this is not satisfying what? This is not satisfying mutual exclusion. Mutual exclusion is not satisfied. Nah. Yes or no? I told you mutual exclusion, nothing but any moment of time, only one process is allowed to use the critical section at a time. Yes or no? See what happened in this moment, both are went into critical section. Yes or no? It failed. Mechanism failed or not? By looking code, either low level code, high level code, it seems to be correct. It seems to be satisfying the mutual exclusion. But when you start executing, see, simple thing, how it is got to fail? When a process is trying to enter into critical section by modifying, like by updating the lock equal to 1, so OS might be thinking to schedule another process that moment only. When we schedule another process, so value got modified. So this problem arises with this. So ultimately what I can notice here, note point you write in, it will not guarantee, not guaranteed not guaranteed mutual exclusion, correct or not? So it definitely it will guarantees the progression will guarantee, because no one will stop. When critical section is free, no one will stop to enter the critical section, because initially lock equal to 0. When critical section is free, lock equal to 0, nothing but anyone can read and you can enter, only one. So progress is satisfying, but mutual exclusion is not at all satisfying. But so what we made when we look up into necessary condition for synchronization problem, race condition was there. How race condition need to be avoided? By ensuring the mutual exclusion only. Here first condition, mutual exclusion not satisfied, so that it is not suitable to implement in practical cases. Then they proposed, the algorithm got proposed like to implementing user application, but it is failing because it is not satisfying mutual exclusion. I hope you are understanding. You should not confuse. You may thinking, sir, P2 entered into critical section, but it came out, but it is only P1 only in critical section, right? You may thinking like that because it preempted. Now it is not in critical section. P1 is went to critical section. How this mutual exclusion not satisfied? You may thinking, but you should understand process P2 went in critical section. The shared data is not completed its execution. Shared instructions are there, critical instruction not completed by execution, held up and came outside. Now another process going and modifying data. If later P2 comes, that will going to modified here. So that is you have to understand, means critical section should not be shared by multiple process at the same time. That you have to notice clearly. And once again, if you are not understanding this code, again rewatch the code, you will get it. Because and this is the fundamental algorithm to understand future. Like next we are going to see 3 or 4 to 5 algorithm we are going to observe, that we have to understand clearly, so that first you focus more on this. I hope you are understanding. So we will be also looking into questions, unlock variables. You copy first, you copy.